What's up, beautiful souls? Hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. Your boy Loon is back with another video, and you guys see it in the title of the video and the thumbnail. Today, we are diving back into the dark world that is Incels.is. For those of you guys that are new to this forum, Incels.is is a wild world on the internet. A forum that incels, or involuntary celibate men, can discuss various topics. Every now and then we'll see a very normal and even thought-provoking piece, but oftentimes we see very negative and heinous things, usually geared towards women, but sometimes even geared towards each other, which is so baffling to me because I feel like as a society, especially with men, if we're gonna really progress anywhere, I feel like we should be uplifting each other and actually giving each other genuine advice and help towards bettering ourselves instead of just trying to downput everyone and just surround everybody with negativity. I feel like that is the worst thing towards or for this society. And that's with any group, doesn't matter. And before we get into this video, I do want to differentiate the difference between a normal incel and, again, I've had incel friends in the past and that are very chill people, and then those that are the worst of the worst type. And we see it sometimes in this form. There are some mega heinous people out there. And I know some of them are going to be watching this video. Even oftentimes Incel.is members attack me, and one time they even doxed my family, which is insane. I want to reiterate that the point of these videos isn't so much to bully or target these individuals. It's more for trying to understand where they are coming from sometimes, and even reading their content and provide feedback and discussion towards the things that are going on with the incel culture as a whole. Anyways, without further ado, let's dive into Incel.is. I have the first post here titled "Describe Women in One Word Actually." Okay, so we have a incel user here, or Incel.is user here, that says, "A funny thread that was made here in my list." So they're going to describe women in one word: liars through looks. What? Like makeup? You could argue that a lot of people lie then. Deceptive through looks. And how would you argue women that don't use makeup too? You know, insincere, manipulative through looks. That is so wild, dude. Indecisive, looks carry cute, helpless halo. Degenerate, attractive, depends. Okay, so kind of complimented them on that one. Wow, I'm not gonna say that. Through high attractiveness, ego, constant positive reinforcements are the cause. Gatekeepers of S. What? Men can also be gatekeepers of S if they choose to. Aware, depends. Stupid, depends. A, if aware. What? Jealous, not obvious, but it's high in them. Leech, parasitic behavior, path of least resistance, minimal effort. Uncommittable, has no pure commitment to a guy and can monkey. I don't know what that even means. Frauding, yeah. Nagging. Okay, so he's just venting at this point and just naming the worst things ever that you can call a girl. Well, not the worst things, but things that are negative towards women, because they have said very, very bad things towards women on this forum. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. This is under the black pill label, versions of the lonely male. All right, here we go. There are many versions of the lonely male. A lot of them, a lot seem to think it is just incels, but there is quite a bit more. I do agree. There are such thing as just the lonely male that it doesn't matter if they get S with women, cuddles or whatever, they can still be lonely. Anyways, they all cope in their own ways. I will list most I know of here and try to explain as best as I can. All right, so this person is gonna try to list all the types of lonely males. Okay. So we got the blue-pilled. I'm not gonna say that. This is the most common form of lonely male. They do not even know they are lonely, and if they do, then usually they are on a subreddit or Reddit subs like Incel Tears or 2X. Oh, that's a new one to me. Saying the classic line, quote, "As a man," they love to mention that they are a man on these subreddits and post because secretly they are offended but they do not want to admit it, and so they try to subtly change the mind of the misandrous B who posted it by saying not all men are like that, or as a man, I do not do that, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, this is really hard to read. They use like no punctuation. The incel in denial, essentially. So does that mean if the blue pilled person gets women or has been with a girl, are they still an incel in denial? Like by definition, I'm just confused by that. And then that just sounds so. Anyways, all right, let's continue. They say the red pilled. This is the lonely male who thinks that they have it figured out, but will he tell us the secret of women? Has he figured them out? Nope. He thinks that they want money and big muscles. Wow. Okay, this is kind of true. Towards like red pill people like Andrew Tate and so forth. Gerald will learn the hard way when his bank account and big biceps does not fix the massive schnots and shriveled D. Maybe he is beta bucks. Those C's will usually be insanely invested into politics and try to own le libs online by govmaxing or goy maxing. I don't even know what that means. They usually go on about blah, 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 and are usually Christian or Muslim. From what I have seen, this is the most common form of lonely male among Gen Z, and their form of thinking is so popular among S-having Zoomers too, though blue pill is most popular amongst S-havers. So I'm confused. So if you have S for say, are you automatically blue pilled? Because then isn't that what you guys want to be then? Because isn't the whole point of you guys being incels wanting to not be incels anymore? Thus, and by definition, you're saying that you become blue pilled then? I'm just confused. I feel like they just label anybody who isn't them something that is negative towards them. It's again, herd and group mentality of like, oh, you're not me, so I hate you. Like, which is so weird. And that's actually like, historically speaking, how societies crumble and also like the worst stuff happens, war, all that, because of differentiating thoughts, views, and so forth. Anyways, continuing, and this is just commentary again. I know the Incel.is community is gonna be like, oh my god, this guy. I'm like, bro, I'm just reading. All right, Troon, the lowest of the low, bottom of the barrel. Troon, so funny because it rhymes with my name. Troons are the lonely males with zero shame and zero respect. They gave up and hopped on hormones, zero endurance. Oh, okay. I see what they're alluding towards. TRANS. Okay. People. Anyways, incel. Oh, okay. So he's going to describe himself and the incel community. Incel, aware of the reality of black pill and his situation. I love how he puts incel instead of like black pill C. One of the happiest among them. Really? You think that you would be happier than someone like genuinely getting women and stuff? Because you even said that there are people who are lonely in their own ways, right? So even someone who's getting S can be lonely, which I do agree with. But then, okay, I don't know. I'm diving way too deep into this. Anyways, continue. He says, I feel like most of us felt poopier when blue pilled than when we were black pilled. I know I did. We may seem worse off, but we are just venting it all out. Blue pill incels in denial bottle it up and cope, and whatever black pill thing that they see that they will say to themselves. Not all wimps. You know, okay, so I guess they're talking about blue pill specific incels in this to try and feel better. I think I am forgetting some, but these are the main ones. This is just to remind us that these type of things, that these types that you are seeing is in this exact same situation as us, but do not admit it. These people want to seem above us, but in reality is they are us. Okay, so the blue pill people that he's referring to are kind of like, in a way, grifters. Like, I get it. The, performative men that, pretend to do this and that to try to get brownie points. That is a thing. I can agree that there is a community out there. Now, what I can't agree with is that these are the forms of lonely men. I think that lonely men goes way beyond what just incels think, right? There is people who could be living what they would deem is the best life, right? The Robin Williams, the various people who are deeply, deeply lonely and sad, and you would never even know. And then there's also, of course, the incel type of community. And I think today in 2025, especially doing these videos, I have found that there are way more lonely people than we can ever imagine. Men, women, you just truly don't know. And now with social media and online, we're starting to see more communities build around it like this. And that's when stuff like this can come about. I think where we should go, and this is just my opinion, is geared towards actually helping each other out, helping each other not be lonely anymore. Instead of and I know some Incel.is community is trying to do that, and I commend those that do, but I know that part of the community also wants everyone to be miserable just like them and stay miserable because misery likes company. And then they feel more okay with themselves because they're like, oh, but they're also miserable too. So yeah, but I digress, and I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. Let's just read the next one. This one says, I crashed out today and slammed a toilet against the wall. By the way, I'm assuming that when they say toilet, they mean a woman, which is so unfortunate. But let's see. This, yeah, he does. That's just so messed up. I can already tell in this first sentence. All right, so he says, this oid, wait. Now I'm just clicking it together. Are you admitting to slamming a woman? Dude, that's like not okay. What the, dude, what? Okay, let's read what he has to say. This is gonna make me really mad, I feel like. All right, so he says, this oid, with an F, in uni, who used to bully me and spread rumors that I am an S predator, got what was coming to her. Dude, no. Okay, first I want to say bullying is not okay, and I do feel bad that this person got bullied in the past. It's totally like, and a lot of these guys, they have been bullied, and so I empathize because I've been bullied. It sucks. It's not okay. I feel like that's a thing that a lot of society goes through, and it's unfortunate and it sucks. But you should not act in aggression towards someone, especially physically. Like, that is insane, dude. I'm almost like scared to read what he's about to say next, but I just want to leave it with the Vinland Saga quote of like, you have no enemies. There is no real purpose in violence. Like, don't, oh my God. Anyways, let's read. She poured a bottle over my head once. Dang, that does suck, man. I'm sorry. And I did nothing like a C, and nobody did anything about it. But now I have built up enough rage inside of me to finally do something. I empty a water bottle over this oid's head and pushed her head against the wall and almost bit her nose off in uni. What? Okay, emptying the water bottle over her, I'm there for that because, you know, that's okay. But this next thing, dude, bro, don't fight fire with fire, bro. You had to hear the way she screeched like a pig as I bit into it. Now I'm gonna get kicked out, but I don't care. I will be a loser either way, but I will never let someone disrespect me like that again after 5 years of relentless bullying. Okay, this one's a tough one because, you know, I can't stand for bullying ever. Like, that is just horrendous, and I hate that this person went through that. But at the same time, what you did to them is just equally, if not also as bad. Like, you know, it's just, I hate how our culture is so dependent on just like, oh, if somebody does this, I'm going to make it worse for them. You know, and it's hard to be the better person. And reading these comments, some people are saying that he should have done worse, which is, I'm not going to read some of the stuff, but all right. Anyways, all right, on to what seems to be a lighter one. It says a stinky, obnoxious mogger? I don't even know what that means. With a GF in the supermarket. He stank so bad, I actually moved away to a different aisle. But of course, he had a girlfriend, thanks to his looks. Just shower, bro. Okay, what? Okay, I was not expected to see this, but that's kind of funny how the way that they worded that. Someone in the comments said, daily reminder that looks are the only thing. Bro, no. See, I've seen so many ugly dudes pull. Like, you guys gotta understand. And these people that perpetuate black pilled culture, it really isn't just about looks, dog. If it was about looks, I'm telling you guys, I would have not been as successful as I was with women in most of my life. Even to this day, I don't think that I'm like the greatest looking guy. Like, their definition of a Chad, I am totally not. I'm not blonde. I'm not blue-eyed. I'm not tall at all. I'm 5'4", and I'm Asian, bro. And we're like, I'm pretty sure Tinder came out with a study in like 2014 that said that Asian men were like the lowest liked people on dating apps, and I still got a girl. It can happen, dude. You just gotta, well, first get off forums like this that is gonna surround you with negativity. All right, so this next one says describe women in one word. All right, we have a video which seems like a TikTok, and it says describe women in one word at uni of Bath cafe culture performance male competition. Oh God, a performative male competition? That already sounds so silly and cringy, but let's watch.
Describe women in one word.
Beautiful, powerful energy.
This is really hard to hear, but the first person said beautiful. This person said energy, and dude, it is so cringy seeing these guys' outfits. So performative.
Say encompassing.
Encompassing?
Everything. Infinitely infinite. Increíble.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I can't understand some of the stuff that they're saying.
Inspirational. Powerful. Superior.
Superior? Bro is fishing for brownie points. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This is silly as hell too. Like, this is the other side of the spectrum. It's just so goofy.
Inspiration. Everything. Superior.
I can't tell if they're serious or they're just going into the whole performative competition and act.
Independent. I don't think I can do it in just one word. I'd have to go with underappreciated. Bro. Better.
Better? Okay, I think that is so silly. I will say the enigma one, that's pretty accurate. I do think women are enigmas, like the way that they function and everything, but that's also because I'm a dude. And so girls would probably think we're enigmas too. I think women in one word, how the hell do you even describe a woman in one word? Comparable? I don't know. I'm trying to find a way to say like they're different but the same. I guess it's comparable. I don't know. I don't know what to say. But yeah, like women are different than us, but they're also like kind of the same sometimes. And that's just the way the world works. I mean, that's with any group, right? Anyways, that was silly. Oh my God. Of course, the comments say evil. How would always describe men in one word? Wow, someone said the C word. I'm not going to show that. Hive mind. Okay, that's kind of funny. The complete opposite. Okay. Today is my 22nd birthday is the title of this next one. It says, today is my 22nd birthday, and as per the lifelong unbroken rule, no one has wishes me. It's extremely brutal, to be honest. It really feels like, it really fuels me like how worthless I am. Oh, dude, that sucks. Hey, happy birthday to this guy. I highly doubt they're watching this video, but if they are, man, I hope that your birthday gets better. And I hope that you have, some great things that happen in your life this year. And 22nd's a good year. And again, this is also showing like a lot of these people on Incel.is, they're very young. They're very, very, very young people. 22 is super young, man. When I was 22, man, I had no clue what life was even gonna be like going forward for me. I had no clear path until I was like maybe 25, 26, to be honest. But yeah, dude, hey, I'm sorry that no one has birthday wishes for you or whatever, but you know what? Happy birthday, bro. I hope that your day goes better, and I genuinely feel bad that you feel this way. I don't think anyone should feel this way on their birthday. Happy birthday to you, man. You know what? And I will say a lot of the comments are wishing him happy birthday. So this is actually, one of the rare times where I think Incel.is, good for you guys. Anyways, we're moving on to the next one here. Wow. Okay. The next one says, having OID family members is enough to black pill someone. I've heard some extremely black pills from the OIDs in my family. Many times I've heard them insulting ugly men, insulting short men, etc. I remember a conversation my aunt and cousin had about a guy at her work that liked my cousin, and my aunt asked her why she won't date him, and my cousin said something like he's short and weird, and then laughed. She is an effing C, and I hate her. I don't know what this abbreviation means, but he says it's truly law. And then someone said, having a sister gives me full display of how two-faced, shallow, rude, and untrustworthy females are every single day. That is so sad and unfortunate because I had a different experience in my life. Not to invalidate theirs by any means. I was just sharing and comparing with the whole, like, I grew up with women. My mom, sister, cousin who's a girl, and then my dad, but my dad was working a lot, because we were really poor growing up. And so growing up, and also my aunt, who's my cousin's mother. Growing up with that household, I actually saw a different experience. I saw how much they were a lot like me. I mean, me and my cousin were like literally we're the same almost. And so, yeah, and you know, I can't understand that seeing that in your household would get you this like warped, traumatizing mentality towards how like, oh, all women, you know, but I hope that these guys, as they get older, realize that there are so many variations of people in all groups and forms. And, you know, women, men, black, white, Asian, there's going to be bad people. There's going to be good people. It doesn't matter the group. There's always going to be some of both, you know, unless you're a Loon fan. That group, the best group. No bad people there. But yeah, so yeah, you know, I do feel for this guy. I hope that he finds more women in his life that are good human beings, positive influences, and so forth. All right, let's read this next one. Wow. All right. Even just looking at it, I have to warn you guys, this could get very dark. All right. The title says, if you lack the capacity to commit acts of evil, you are mentally weak. What? This is what I'm talking about. Like, reading stuff like this on a forum as a young adult or even a teen can warp your reality and can warp the way that you think, and it's spewing negativity and negative thoughts into each other. And I feel like that's just so not productive, not only for society, but for you guys as dudes. Like, going out in the real world, if you guys want to be successful in any form with women, whatever, like reading stuff like this and believing it is not gearing you towards the right direction. But anyways, that's just my thoughts. I don't know. Who am I? Just a guy who's reading. Anyways, he says, it does not give me joy to say this, but I truly believe if you were to go out and harm someone, especially someone weaker than you, that can't fight back, not only would it make you feel better about yourselves, but it would also improve your social status and just make you more respectful in life overall. Dude, no. What are you actually talking about? If you genuinely do this and feel this way, you're a POS. You are a terrible person. I'm not saying that the person writing this is. I mean, he is in a way by spewing this, but if you do this and genuinely believe in this, hell no, dude, you are the... Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm even reading this. Like, this is a thing? Wow, all right. I don't even want to show this on screen. I'm just going to read it. I'm going to show you guys my face and read it because I don't even want to show this on YouTube. But it says, if you are feeling bad right now and you want to feel better about yourself in a deep, lasting way, go blank someone else. No, don't do that. And he didn't say the worst blank you could think of, but he's inciting things, you know? The net positive of harming other people sadistically is almost as healthy as having... Dude, I'm not reading that. Are you serious right now? This is just how women see the world. How does this piece to women? What? Women are the kinds of people insane enough to hyperfixate on every social exchange as though one person won and another lost. No, men also do that. That narcissists also do that. A lot of people do that. What are you talking about? They see things in black and white. Are you weak or are you dominant? Actually, I think I could show this part. Because only dominant men are capable of evil. No, there's a huge difference between the term dominant and evil. You see, what makes a man weak is their commitment to rules and order. No, that's what makes a man's morals. People have different morals, aka different rules and different order. I'm sorry, I strongly disagree with almost everything this guy's saying. Actually, everything he's saying. Not inciting anything against this person. Just saying whatever he right here, I strongly disagree with. Most men are followers because... wait, hold up. And men follow rules not out of some moral obligation to have a healthy society even. No, some people do genuinely have moral obligations and they follow rules. Like my dad. He's like one of the most honorable guys I know. He has his like own code and I really like... He's much more moral and honorable than me even. Most men are followers because they are weak and lazy. I don't fully disagree with this, but I somewhat disagree with this. Some men are followers because they are weak and lazy, yes. And women can just sniff weakness and laziness in a man like they can sniff whatever, SPO. Some women can tell when a guy is weak or lazy, yeah, for sure. They don't have the dominance it takes to spit in a leader's face. Well, that's also being stupid Because if you were to spit in a leader's face in the wrong predicament, you could get unalived. They don't have what it takes to challenge everything, not even out of reason, but solely because they simply want to have it their way. There's nothing more weak than following the rules set by someone else. This is a very bad thing to spew, guys. Honestly, I'm going to go back to my face because I don't even want to give this guy too much of a platform on it. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to stop reading this. I'm going to read this one last thing he says, and I'm going to just stop because I don't even want to platform something like this. The best victims to... Okay, yeah, no, never mind. I'm not even reading that. We move on. Whatever. So this next one says, all men need is something to strive for. I agree. I think all people need something to strive for. But then we get into philosophy, and I think something to strive for is so ambiguous, and it can be anything. You could strive for peace. You could strive for a simple life. You could strive for anything. And then again, this goes into absurdism in a way. Like, life is absurd. Your meaning is going to be different from mine. My meaning should be different from yours. All men need is something to strive for. Yeah, I think all people do need. I believe that if society gave men some kind of incentive or something obtainable to work for, we would all be so much more at peace in the world. What do you mean? Life and society does give men and women incentives and things to work for. Like, what? Literally everything in life can be incentivized by stuff that you work towards. Anything. What is he even talking about? I think what he's getting at is that we need, like, men need some type of, like, easy incentive to dangle in front of them for them to work. But you guys got to understand, like, nothing's going to be easy. You got to work for anything. Like, I give you guys an example. Getting women, right? That's something you want to work for. That's an incentive, right? So work towards it. Work towards being a better person. Work towards your looks. Work towards working out. Work towards whatever, to get that. Now let's go another way. Let's say you want to work for a new gaming PC because you want to play games. That's an incentive, right? Now, how are you going to get there? You got to work for it. You got to actually literally work for it. So I don't know where he's getting at with this. This is like almost to claim that society doesn't give incentives, which is crazy because then how would anyone strive for anything ever? All right, so he continues and says, think about it. Throughout history, men have been fighters, hunters, gatherers, protectors, and they have something to fight for, hunt for, protect, etc. Whether it was their town, community, a girl, their family, whatever. That still happens to this day. It's just a different form of hunting and gathering. Like, we're not physically out in the streets, like, hunting. Well, some people are, but you hunt by work and then you provide to your family, to your girl, to yourself, to your town, community, whatever. What has he never walked outside before? I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm genuinely asking. In modern society, men are giving nothing to do the above for and are still expected to just do that. What do you mean? What? And that's where the biggest problems lie at this point. Society continues to reject and vilify men. Women don't bat an eye to 99% of us. See, you're taking a victim mentality with that statement. But let's see. We have no sense of community. I do agree with that. I think a lot of, I don't fully agree with that. I think a lot of groups do have communities like that are predominantly men communities, like even jiu-jitsu groups. You can get into gaming discords and their sense of communities. There's so many types of community. Even in Incel.is, there is a sense of community. However, I think that where we're lacking is a positive sense of community, oftentimes, especially with men. So to continue, and with the economy getting worse each year and AI rising up, men are being pushed out of the labor force and our futures are being crushed. Well, that's like women too. That's an issue for both people. Imagine in a hypothetical scenario that you actually have a loyal and loving wife, family, children, loyal girlfriend, a nice house, job that respects you, and you live in a society that gives you a sense of belonging. You would feel motivated to give it your all. Yes, you would, but you're thinking about it in a weird... I love how Cloud's just spazzing. You're thinking about it in the wrong way. You should be motivated to get that too. That's like what you just said. It seems like you want a loving wife, family, children, etc., right? So you should give it your all, and that should motivate you towards bettering yourself to get that. That's that glass half full, glass half empty. Two different mentalities. A case in point, if I just had a loyal and loving girl to come home to, remind me how amazing I am and someone I can make memories with, I would literally bust my entire ass off at my shitty job all day and put up with all the BS that comes with it. See, okay, that's great. And I think that is great that you think that way. However, I don't think anybody should just be given a girl, because then you also got to work for that. That's also an incentive. You realize that, right? What you just said earlier applies to this as well. I don't think it's much to ask for. And I want to say this one more thing before, the incel community comes at me. I genuinely am trying to help you guys out. And I look, if you guys have problems, let me know in the comments. I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion and advice as long as you're respectful. Now, if you're one of those guys who's going to try to dox me or say some like goofy ass stuff, I'm not going to help you. I'm sorry. But there are some guys who are genuine incels that go into our community, whether it's on Discord, whether it's on my Instagram, whether it's on here, that, DM me and ask me questions. And I try to help them if I do see it as much as I can. And so like even with this guy, like I feel like me and him can have a great conversation and I can help him gear towards this, what seems to be what he wants out of life, right? And his incentive. I'm no expert though. I'm just going to give from my experience. But all right, to continue, he says, I don't even think it's too much to ask for. I don't need to be rich or famous. I don't need a big house. We could live in a little apartment for life. But as long as I come home to her and she will value what I do no matter what happens, I would be instantly happy with my life. See, okay, that's great. I love that mentality that he has in this paragraph, 100%. I think that this person also should be viewing this as an incentive that he should be striving for right now, though. And then keeping this lovely life as an incentive moving forward after. I have hope for this person. I genuinely believe with a mentality like this, as if you can just gear that towards your motivation, you will be a better person. I have hope for this person, for sure. It's crazy that even this is too much to ask for. And to most women nowadays, this is oppressive. When a man is denied having anything to strive or work for, and it becomes clear to him that there's nothing this world has to offer him, that's when he crashes out and does something like ER. Nobody talks about this, and we continue to act surprised when things like this that do happen, it seems. Well, I don't agree with some of that, but I do like that he has, this is one of the better ones, I will say. I think he should warp his way of thinking, and that would benefit him a lot. But yeah, honestly, that's a good thing right here. This paragraph. All right, on to the next one. Rank the worst days for you, holidays/birthdays. Most worst to least worst. Okay, number one is birthday. Damn, I'm sorry, man. Also, I can't believe that these are bad days for you, but let's hear them out. I absolutely despise these days. I actually do know some people who genuinely do not like their birthdays. On these days, you spend it with many friends, but if you don't have any, then it would just be a regular day with your birthday photo just being you with your parents. Well, that's actually kind of nice. The fact that you have parents, some people don't even have that. But I'm sorry that you feel like your birthday is not fun. Anyone out there who, has poopy birthdays, I feel for you. I'm sorry. I have some friends that have genuinely poopy birthdays, and it sucks. I do think that birthdays each year get a little bit less special as you get older, but I try to keep them as special as I can. And it's nice to have friends that can. And like he said, even if you don't have friends and you have family, that's still great. I mean, I don't know, try to stay positive, but I'm sorry, that sucks. Moving on to the next one, he says Valentine's Day. As an adult, it's easier to dodge seeing unaliving fuel, unlike when we were at school where you would constantly see people asking each other out and making out in front of you. It's still bad because you will still see a bit of it at work. It's just a reminder of something you will never have. See, again, that's the glass half empty mentality right there. It could be glass half full, and it could be a reminder of something you could achieve. But, a lot of these guys, they don't think that they ever will. And, if you don't think that you ever will, you never will. But if you actually, I don't know. I'm not trying to be philosophical, but let's continue. 3, Christmas. What? Christmas is my favorite. What do you mean? Christmas and New Year's. The only thing good about this holiday is getting gifts. But once you're an adult, you start running out of ideas of what you want. This holiday is only enjoyable if you have family nearby who cares enough about you Otherwise, you will suffer alone all day like you on your birthday. Only thing enjoyable are stupid fireworks. What? Christmas is awesome, bro. What about like peppermint mocha, bro? Hot chocolate. What about freaking Christmas decorations? They're all sick. Halloween, what? I love Halloween. You only do this when you're a kid, but it was still a good time to be an ugly guy since you can hide yourself. Wow, that's really sad. Like, I'm not talking about them, just the thought of it. The only blank fuel is that you will have no friends to go with, unlike everybody else. But as an adult, you can fool your stupid neighbors by getting in a costume and taking the candy, as well as giving bad candy to kids. Oh, that's kind of mean. This is probably one of my favorite holidays, but it's something you can't do anymore once you're an adult with no friends. I don't know. I feel like even this year, like I'm not going out because I have work, but I still like want to. I mean, literally, Halloween is tomorrow from when this video airs, and I'm still gonna like watch horror movies. It's still a good time. 5, Thanksgiving, the most boring holiday of them all. I can kind of agree with that. I don't know. I like food a lot. Actually, no, I take that back. I like Thanksgiving. Seeing my friends and family is fun. Friendsgiving is stupid if you have no friends, and Thanksgiving in general is only good because of the food. Well, that's like a huge reason though. Once again, you will have a shitty time if you don't have family around, but at least it's not unaliving fuel. Wow. Interesting. Honestly, I feel bad. I just feel bad that this person thinks this way. I'm sorry. Wish you can give them a hug. All right, this next one says, you get seed before your relationship even begins. And then he references a X post by someone and says, your future wife has 4 guys on Discord she hasn't responded to yet. She's currently moderately interested in 2 of them, but she'll get around to it. You guys realize not all women are like that, right? Her DM requests on TikTok and Instagram are filled to the brim with propositions, validation, and flirtation. Yeah, some women, but not all. There's a new one every hour. That's crazy. If a girl genuinely is getting that many DMs, like, hey, all the power to them. Same with comments on any post she makes. Twitter is relatively the same, except she's also in at least 3 group chats with around 10 men independently trying to court her one-on-one. See, these guys, they're building this like idea of women in their heads just to make their mentalities worse, I feel like. Because a lot of women aren't like this. She's constantly in a state of experiencing nearly every aspect of a relationship without having to be in one 24 hours a day, 7 hours a week. Some girls, yes. Most girls, probably not, dude. Offline, who knows, dude. Just blow. Wow, I'm not saying that. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. That was the wild, dude. And you know what's crazy too? Some of the stuff I couldn't even read. So I had to like pre-pick stories that weren't too bad. Because some of the stuff that you guys can see on this forum is just too dark for YouTube. Like I genuinely can't even read it without getting demonetized. But anyways, I'm gonna end it on that note. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Also, a little heads up, some of my thumbnails are gonna be looking a little different because I'm gonna test out the YouTube inspired thumbnails. It sounds interesting. But yeah, I love you guys so much. If you guys are new to this channel, we do videos like this almost every single day. So make sure you guys stay tuned by hitting the subscribe and notification bell. I also stream every week. If you guys want to stay up to date on the streams, follow the Discord. Yeah, I love you guys so much. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.